Classes in session, lights on the screen, old posts resurfacing, you know what I mean. Breadcrumb trails from back in the day, screenshots lined up, dates on replay. Scroll back years line by line, what didn't hit then hits right on time. Side by side, yeah, we cross-check proof, pulling threads till we hit the root. Late nights, coffee cold, something clicks and your spine gets cold. Wait, hold up, look at that. Tell me how they missed the match. Welcome to Q School, buckle in tight. We decode drops in the middle of the night. 1 year, 4 year, Delta hits clean. When the dates line up, you know what I mean. We go deep, yeah, we don't play cool. Ask the questions they said don't pursue. From the first post to the final clue, yeah, welcome to Q School. Calendar flips, history bends, past meets present, connects again. Screens lighting up, yo, did you see that timestamp hits like destiny? Patterns stack, numbers talk, nothing random when you really look. Archive digging, frame by frame, different story when you know the game. Pause it, rewind, zoom it slow. Wait, that date was years ago. Now it's live, now it's real. That's the moment you feel the deal. Welcome to Q School, sharpen your mind, where coincidence falls every time. 1 year, 4 year, Delta hits clean. When the drops align, it's electric, obscene. We don't memorize, we review, decode the past to see what's new. If you're chasing facts, not headlines too, yeah, welcome to Q School. Connect the dots, watch it land, then explain it. Step by step, hand in hand, not told what to think, learn how to see. Truth don't rush, it reveals patiently. Welcome to Q School, truth seekers unite, where the past shows up right on time. From old drops to today's news, when it lines up, there's no excuse. Dig it deeper, break the rules. Curiosity is the only tool. Decode it all, don't just consume. Yeah, welcome to Q School.
Welcome to Q School, everybody! We love y'all out there.
Welcome to Q School.
Oh yeah, we're back in action, We're a little bit behind. We got the green matched up with a big million. Timbo 17 up there in Canada. Matthew Q's pumped and excited about Q School. Here he comes. And beautiful MelzieKaye down there as well. How's everybody doing?
Doing fantastic. Doing great. Right, Matthew? Are we doing great? We're doing good? Are we doing good? Good. Good. Say Q School. Good. Say Q. Q. Yeah, Matthew's ready for Q School. Hey, we got a treat for you guys today. It's February 18th, the Lord's year 2026, but we're going to take you back in time. We're going to go back 4 years. And it was interesting. You played our opening song from the Twins. Q, Livy, and Andrea put that together for us. Beautiful job. Our opening Q School little opening. And it talks about the 1 year. Yeah, the 4 year, it said, remember that?
Yeah, 1 year, 4 year. We didn't plan that either. How about that? We were looking for something to play.
I know. So I went back into the archives, and of course, we try to bring up the current news and news unlocks the map. We go to the Q drops, but there isn't a whole lot of breaking news other than the poo-poo. What is that? Poo-poo River and the Poo-Poo-Tomic or whatever river that they're all talking about. There was a press conference, Carolyn Levitt, 1 o'clock earlier before Q School. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. We were possibly going to play that. But yeah, I said, you know what? Today's Deltas, there's quite a few of them. And we did a pretty bang-on job back in 4 years ago. And actually, I'll hand it to Kyle, because I got to go this way. Hand it to Kyle because there's some history there. And this is back when this is our first year in Q School, but It was right near the end of our first season,
Mhm.
and we didn't know there was going to be a transformation, right, Kyle? Like this is
Right.
February 18th. Our
Yeah.
anniversary is February 23rd, so we're going to be celebrating that on Monday with you guys, our 5th year anniversary. But back then, Kyle, tell us a little bit of the story, like what we were doing back then. And
well, yeah, it was magical too, just how we found each other. Got kicked off another channel, and I came across, and then we had Tim, was going 7 days a week originally. We haven't talked this our history so much in a while, but then it got cut back to 3 days and was needed. But then we're we're on this mission to read every Q drop, and we're like, why are we getting resistance? Where we kept going. I did Q School Mirror, and we started at the end. We were gonna meet in the middle. Over time, we started trusting our intuition and flow and the deltas. We weren't so hammered to start going from start to finish, but it would be interesting to do sometime for sure. Anyways, but after about a year there, Tim and I were working full time then too. He asked me to be his co-partner too. We find that getting rid of the other channel, we just didn't have the support to do that. So we committed full time to the Q School. And then, voice chats have been around a year, and they started doing screen share. We're like, wow, this is we could feel it was a game changer. But since we were operating under channel, it was kind of it was a little resistant. You had to have an admin, they had to okay. And quite frankly, they were jealous of our show and whatnot. But regardless of all that stuff, we had the obstacles, and we did a recording on my phone because I was also wanting to get a better computer to be able to do this. So I was excited. So I had I don't remember when I had ordered the computer, but I know we did a recording on the cell phone because the iPhones you could share screen, and it was on January 17th. Which is the same date that Eisenhower gave the military-industrial complex speech. So Tim said he said 4-year delta for February 18th. I was like, maybe he meant it's 2023. It's a 3-year delta. But no, it's a 4-year delta. So I must have gotten my computer. You'll see just a handful of people in the chat when you see the little side screen. That's even where Scott popped in randomly on that. We just had an impromptu because Tim had made that second channel was at the Diggers. That's where that was the Q School channel where he dropped all the sauce. Right, or whichever one we went on. We did this recording in the middle of the night or later in the night. So this is we started getting really exciting. We did a recording on the phone. And somewhere in this instance too, it might have been after this, Tim, maybe the following week, the Monday or whatever day it was, we actually played the phone recording, and then people were getting confused. They thought we were live. So then that's what led to the people that we were doing the show under too. Eventually we're like, well, it's time for you guys probably to go out on your own and spread your wings, as Tim says. And then that's where our double anniversary, and Tim didn't know this, and none of us did. We looked back, and he happened to call it phase 2 once we finally got unleashed from the channel we're from. We're going to do our own. Went back to 7 days a week. Tim called it phase 2, and it winds up being February 23rd. I think you had the meeting on the 22nd, Tim. And then the 23rd was the day where we started, because we actually, here's how it kind of went. So to this February 18th one, we did a show under the MG show on our regular time slot, which was 7 to 9 Eastern. So then we went over immediately after and did this one. So I totally forgot about this one. So this will be wild to watch. It is February 18th, which is 2/18. So there's a special JFK Jr. connection for the Gematria friends. And then we did a special episode 222 that I'm definitely going to try to replay on Sunday. It would be cool if we did a little live event, but if not, I'll definitely try to replay that special JFK Jr. episode. And then we'll do something special for our double anniversary because Tim scrolled all the way back in the chat. And sure enough, he started Q School on February 23rd, 2021. We had no idea. And then it comes full circle. And then there's a massive Q proof, time travel Q proof. It says digging in the right places, asking the right questions, anons. And Trump and Q both say phase 2. And Tim called it phase 2 without even knowing about the Q post. So it's pretty these connections we've had over the years.
It gives me God bumps just thinking back how much fun we were having. We're still having fun today, but it was I don't know what it was, but you're going to see it for yourselves. But Tammy, it's okay that you're late because we were late too. I mean, we're pretty much never on time. We just got started. All you did was miss the opening song. Thanks for joining us, everybody. So like I said, this is special. And from time to time, and I think, Melzie and Kyle and I are talking in the future, we might be revamping our Q School schedule a little bit, which means we definitely will be with you 5 days a week. But some of the days we are going to interject some of the past Q Schools because a lot of you are new to our channel, new to the family, and you may be, time consuming and stuff like that. You got busy schedules. Maybe a lot of you missed like we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of archive shows that we've done in the past that really are relative to today and probably more so going into the future, because it is a quantum traveling thing. I mean, the Q drops
Right.
basically always unlock, the news is unlocking the map, future proofs past. But when we replay some of our older shows, you're going to see how you're going to think, wow, they were saying that back then, and look what's happening today. And then possibly next month or a couple months down the road, midterms are coming. You know, things are. It's funny how it falls into place. But what really gets me, Kyle, is how enthusiastic we were then, and we continue to be today. Even though some days we feel a little drained, and it's tough. It's tough to keep doing this day after day after day. Because we have lives, we have to live our lives. We got jobs and things like that people have to do, and sometimes it's a bit of a pain in the butt, honestly. So it's nice and refreshing sometimes to let the old recordings come back into play. So, going back, as Q says, sometimes you have to go back in the past in order to see the future. So we're going to give you a little bit of that today. And of course, it is a February 18th Q school, but it was 4 years ago. So we're going to do a little time traveling today with you guys, if that's okay with you guys.
All right, this sounds fun. This is be good too. So we're going to be watching in live. So maybe Tim's got to run off to maybe the store. But anyways, it's hour and 17. Maybe we'll let it run. But we're going to come back on after and talk about it for a few minutes, and then we'll wrap it up a little bit earlier today too. So this will be fun to watch. I'm going to try to be. I'll be listening most of the time too, and watching the comments too. I'll probably comment with you guys. This is when we really catch some good stuff that we didn't know, or think how far we've come and what we didn't know about or didn't catch in the moment. So those will be fun to watch. And and like Tim said, I've thought for a while, like once we started that February 23rd, I mean, we got episodes every single day, and that would be cool in the future. Is try to be playing those every single day. We'll try to show up for the lives at the 12:17 Eastern, but if we need a break, we'll play one of those. But maybe even days we go live, it'd be a little more work, but it'd be fun to do. Is maybe play one before we go live, one of the for that day's delta, so we kind of see ahead of time, like, oh, you know what I mean? It kind of covers all that. We did cover the Q drops really well. And, we're helping connect the dots with the news today, but I think it's important to come back to the Q drops too. So that'll be perfect to play some of those. I think we'll do that in the future.
Yeah, we have lots of options. I mean, it's endless, right?
We have options.
Yeah. And we're looking at doing some new things with Rumble too, you guys. So there is going to be a lot of exciting new things coming our way, I think, in the next, probably within the next month or so, give or take. But we're talking behind the scenes, in our pre and post Q school meetings. We always hash ideas amongst each other, and setting up schedules and ideas and things. So we're looking forward to doing some new things. We've already talked about Truth Plus on True Social. So it looks like we have to cross some T's and dot some I's and kind of put our mojo together that way. But we'll keep you informed on which direction we're heading. But for now, Monday through Friday, 2:17, give or take 17 minutes. I got to throw that in there. It's pretty rare.
Thanks for that. Thanks for the comments too there. Tammy just said too, I try. You all help. Thank you all for helping us, new ones along. I've seen a lot of those comments because it is got a little bit of burnout. So it does feel nice that you guys, all the kind words, and that we're helping you all. So because never underestimate helping one person. One spark leads to another. Tammy also said your time is appreciated and valued, especially by me, or I wouldn't be here. So thank you, Tammy, very much. We really appreciate you guys. All those kind words again, like made the announcement that we had stepped away, all the comments I got on that post I made and didn't even add anybody on there. Got like 500, that's, just beautiful comments too. So thank you guys so much. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah, thank you. So sit back, grab a bowl of popcorn and enjoy the show. A blast from the past.
Blast from the past. Here we go. Oh, look at that.
Dust storms.
Right on time. Storm warning.
The storm is here.
What storm, Mr. President?
Right on cue. You'll find out. You'll find out. Oh my God.
Okay,
here we go. The storm. Here comes
Kyle, listen to yourself in this past show too. You're on fire back then. So you'll be proud of yourself, brother. I'm proud of you. Right. We're all proud of you.
Love you, brother. All right. Sounds good. We'll see you guys on the other end. Hopefully the storm doesn't knock us out. I think it downloaded fine just a minute ago. So should be good.
Recording. I don't know why it doesn't ding when I do it that way. And
It doesn't ding, and you just had the wind chime.
Okay, so we should be recording. I don't know why it doesn't ding when I do it that way, and it doesn't ask me to
ding,
put a
ding,
title
ding
like
when we hit
yours, but we
record
had
is our
I had
favorite
the
thing to
title in
do
the
there.
chat there. We're going doing recordings today for February 18th, 2022. Q deltas. We're going to cover Q drops that are from this date, February 18th of different years, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years ago, depending on how much time we have. There's a whole bunch of drops according to my buddy Tim 17 here, my partner. I'm undercover white hat Kyle here helping you. Of course, we got a handful of other digital soldiers who stopped by today. Again, we're just unannounced here. We're going to just trying to keep getting these recordings out to you guys so people can learn more about the drops. I'm not going to really explain a lot about what Q is. We're just here to go straight into it. And we have other recordings where I kind of explain that more so you guys understand it. Ultimately, if you're new to this information, just have an open mind. It's beautiful. We're going to be able to share the screen so I can show you different Q posts that we'll be covering. And we go straight to the information because there's a lot of misinformation, a lot of disinformation. No one actually goes straight to the Q drops. And Q is a military information dissemination program. And everything else is basically lies and disinformation about it. But I want you to make your own decision about that. But how many people have an opinion or say something about it or say some crazy follower was trying to be violent when I'm going to show you there's over 4,954 Q posts and not a single one of them calls for violence. And if you find one that calls for violence, I'll send you $100,000. So that's what it is. And again, it's not a right-wing thing. It's not right versus left. Okay, it's about good versus evil. It's about exposing the truth and putting a spotlight on evil people and the darkness that's been happening for years and years. But we're going to be covering straight on the drops. So if you're new to this information, just keep an open mind. Just watch what we do, and hopefully you ask some questions and keep coming back and learn some things along the way as well too. And I always hope to learn something new as well when we do these because there's always a bunch of brilliant digital soldiers that are on here with us that will share different information at certain times as well too. So back to you, Tim. What do you want to do to get started here, buddy?
Yeah, thanks, brother. Welcome everybody to this live recording that we're doing here on February 18th. And of course, tonight's recording, one of several to come, is going to be discussing the February 18th Delta Q drops. Based on what I've searched for on QEG.news before the recording, is that there's one 2-year Delta, there's 26 3-year Deltas, and 11 4-year Deltas. So in this particular recording, Kyle and I are going to start with the 2-year Delta. There's a YouTube video. We're not even sure what it is. We're doing this like a live recording with our beautiful Patriot friends that have joined us here on Q School for this recording. Welcome, everybody. And then after that, we'll jump right to the 4-year Deltas, and then we'll save the 3-year Deltas because there's 26 of them for a recording that we'll do later on this evening, perhaps, or the next day. So, Kyle, when you're ready, brother, I'm ready for this. We just love looking at all the Deltas and all the different Q drops and the information that comes from them. One thing that I always look for while we're doing these, whether it's Q School 3 nights a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays at MG Show on Telegram, or these recordings, is that we watch for news unlocking the map and future proves past. And there's so much news in today's world and what's going on. And it's pretty exciting to say the least with all the different things that are breaking in the news. And even though the mainstream media, the fake news media, is not reporting on much of it, we know what's going on because we have it all. We are the news now, Kyle. So why don't we jump into that YouTube video and see what that's all about, brother? I'm excited.
Yeah. Okay, so I think this is the one we actually played on Q School, but we could do it again for this recording. Certainly, I think it's a good video, but it should be this. It looks like it's this one here, that 10-minute video of kind of covering all the different topics. You want to play it?
This would be a great way to open this recording because if there's anybody new watching this this particular video, that way, of course, we're all going to be sharing this recording far and wide. This will give you a good explanation as to why the mainstream media is attacking us so much. I mean, we're the second most attacked entity on the planet besides Donald J. Trump, who's #1 most attacked by the fake news. And they like to call us QAnon. And of course, Kyle, you go ahead and explain what the difference between Q and QAnon really is before we unleash this video for you right here, right now.
Yeah, great call. So like I said, there's a lot of disinformation, misinformation, but in particular, there's no such thing as QAnon. If we just call it what it is there's the information here is Q, and then there are anons, digital soldiers that try to decode the information and piece it together. However, there can be infiltrated with fake anons or infiltrators, or what I call overzealous anons too, that basically get too carried away on their information. I'm trying to think of how that one post is. Do we have that number where it says there's Q and there are anons? Because I think they do Q like this. Sorry, on the spot here. I'm trying to think what it is. I think this might be it. Let me see. Oh, let's do this. I know it might work here.
4881, Kyle. Go ahead, give it a shot.
There is QAnon. They got the tab behind it.
Kyle's teaching himself from the past. I love it. Future proofs past.
Okay, here's the post. Sorry, guys. Took me just a second. Q post 4881 is a great summary. And look at Tim. It's on a 17 day there. October 17, 2020. They basically explain it for us. There is Q, which is one. There are anons, two. There is no QAnon. And that's what happens when you can't attack the message, you have to attack the messenger. So the media created this thing called QAnon. Media labeling as QAnon is a method deliberate to combine, attach, Q comments, theories, which is all in the information that we're covering, suggestions, statements, and actions made by two. Okay, excuse me. So number two is being the anons. So again, the different comments they've made, theories, suggestions, like I say, overzealous anons, statements, and actions, which we can't, most of, if you pay attention, these false flag or the guy killing the Gambino crime boss or all that stuff, those aren't real Q people, guys. It's clearly, but do your own research on that. They're not typical people in the movement. You can see, and the thing is, we're not a group think. We're all critical thinkers. Like I say, we're not Q followers. We're critical thinkers that analyze and decode the Q information. But again, the media uses that as to be able to connect it. There are crazy people out there, and maybe some do actually follow the Q movement. But if they're truly following the movement, they're not starting violence. They're not doing anything crazy. And mostly the information in Q isn't really out there. They don't even touch on most of the deep, dark topics. If you think of all the things they try to say, like, let's say, I'm not even going to go into it, but like eating babies or something stupid like that. There's not a single post that says anything like that. So that's why we go straight to the Q information, so there's no confusion. And like I said, what happens when you cannot attack the information? Primary source one, which is Q. Do you attack and typecast through others? Through use of others. Again, that's using the infiltrated anons. Not all anons are authentic. Injected. This is a great example. Q post 4881. We should almost start every single school like this. And then Q's responding to this guy on Twitter, posted just several stuff, all the coincidences. Q's proven themselves several times over. Proofs negate falsehoods. Another one of my favorite posts. Let me post this one up here too. We'll put them both up here. Now I'll remember forever. 2788. And Q post 4881 is kind of a good analysis of what Q is, what it really is all about. And this one, again, 2788, one of my favorite posts. How can an entity known only as Q, faceless, nameless, fameless, etc., begin to ask questions on 4chan, now 8chan, now it's actually 8kun, and build something of this magnitude? Okay, worldwide movement. People all over continue to get behind the message, because ultimately the message here, Q, is about searching for the truth. It's about unity, right? Continually says about unity. It's about not dividing ourselves, fighting for our sovereignty and freedom, and of course protecting the children and the future of our children and their children's children. Like, how do you not get behind that movement? And as I've said it before, when something's based on fact and truth, the more you analyze it, the more you dig on it, you ask it questions, you look at it from different angles, the further solidified the truth becomes. And Tim and I are a testament to that. We've been doing this Q School stuff for well over a year. The Q posted for over 3 years. They're on pause right now temporarily because they're allowing the people to understand the power is within us. We are our own saviors. So they're teaching us to be our own saviors and not sit back and wait for something to happen. So that's what's happening with the Q movement. And that's what it is. Like, you know,
one thing I don't think we've said to people very much either, though, I said the pause. So Q hadn't come back yet. We are, of course, live when Q comes back, which is crazy. But we also predicted the 3 days in a row they would post. So anyways, enjoy the show.
how can this entity garner such a massive amount of worldwide mainstream media attacks when they're just asking questions? Q doesn't come out and say anything crazy. You have to make your own decisions and decide for yourself. That's what they fear the most. The mainstream media, the powers that be, you know, the ones behind the curtain who've really been in control. They don't want people being critical thinkers. Okay. And then I brought this post up because this one part right here where it says, where is it? I thought it was in this one. Proofs negate falsehoods. Isn't that in this post right here? There it is. Proofs negate falsehoods. Q's proven themselves several times over to have connections to the executive office, the president of the United States, several times over, been able to, you know, basically detail information years in advance. So, I mean, the things you see in these posts are truly mind-boggling. I'm not going to cover all that. We're just going to go to the drops and let you figure that out. But that's what it is. Again, this is just typical attacks on what the media calls QAnon, but there is no such thing. We have the drops that are Q, then there are anons in the Q, and then the media is trying to create this third person QAnon so that they can attack the messenger because they can't attack the message. But they can't attack Q because no one really knows who that is. And it's just asking questions. So that's why they do what they do. So we're doing deltas today, guys. So when our first delta, I guess we're starting with the most recent. So this would be a 2-year delta. February 18th, 2020 is just the video shared, this YouTube video. So we watched this on Q School, which is where we do our regular live recordings, guys, too, if you're listening to this for the first time. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern, live on Telegram. We're over on the MG show. The best way to find it is just t.me. That's the Telegram address, t.me/MG show. I don't know how to say the name, all the letters in call sign on the spot there. So MG show, pretty simple, guys. Actually, here, let me just show Tim's thing here real quick. That's what I'll do. And here we're on Q School channel. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble getting this. Okay, there it is. So Q School, this is Tim's channel here that we're doing the recording on. Q School, the @ address or t.me is actually all Q's though. Q School with all the Q's. And then in his information here, it says right here, @MG show. That's where we do our show Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern, okay? So check us out over there, guys. If you see this recording later and want to come on live and ask a question or just watch us do our thing live, you're more than welcome to. Right now, we're over on Q School here, t.me, Q School with all Q's. The O's are Q's there. And then we also do it on the MG show. Okay, so now, now we're doing the deltas this February 18th, and here's this video we're going to watch. Great little just 10-minute video, so we're going to start the show with this. Any last thoughts, Tim, before I start?
Yeah, thanks for that beautiful overview before we show this video, because it'll help explain. This video actually talks a lot about, or actually shows you exactly what you were talking about in those Q drops. So the Q information is highly valuable as far as helping other people understand that there is a reason why this movement is being attacked, and why the mainstream or the fake stream corrupted media uses the term QAnon. And watch closely in this video, and of course I'm not sure exactly when the video was made, but it was released by Q exactly 2 years ago today. So that's why we're doing this delta. And one thing that I found really interesting in this is if you see who the people who are arrested now. So Future Proofs Past, News Unlocks the Map, when they're trying to make fun of this movement, QAnon, they're actually giving away the news. So keep an eye on, you'll see the faces and the names that are released during this video 2 years ago, and just think about who's arrested now. It's really quite genius.
Okay, right on. Sounds good. Thank you, Tim, for that. And then, guys, make sure your mics are muted on blue, and then we'll do this recording here, and we'll come back and talk about this after this short little 10-minute video.
Future Proofs Past, my boy there. We got Comey, huh, Timbo? We got Comey now. We got Brennan. Let's go! Motherfuckers!
Here. Thanks, guys.
Pepsodent.
Stick better than any other bandage.
So remember, old Virginia, it's the tough quality.
Tonight I'm going to talk to you about truth and about fairy tales, about justice and about injustice. In the months to follow, you're going to learn that many of the things which some of the major news agencies have been telling you are untrue.
So this segment right now is brought to you by the letter Q, specifically QAnon.
QAnon.
QAnon. QAnon.
QAnon.
QAnon. QAnon. QAnon. QAnon. QAnon. QAnon.
QAnon.
QAnon.
QAnon.
Let me introduce you to QAnon.
They wore shirts and signs emblazoned with only the letter Q.
Emblazoned with the letter Q. A fringe
conspiracy theory group.
Broad and often bizarre, it's difficult to believe there are people who actually believe this stuff.
It takes one conspiracy and puts them all together.
This is crazy. This is insanity. This is all insane and incoherent.
So what is Q? What is QAnon? What's it all about?
How easy it is to make people believe a lie, and how hard it is to undo that work again.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings.
We want some of our intelligence truly to be secret. That we want to protect our nation's sources the way our journalists protect their sources.
Do you have any people paid by the CIA who are working for television networks? This, I think, gets into the kind of getting into the details, Mr. Chairman, that I'd like to get into in executive session.
This analysis that we made of the CIA's media operations disclosed, among other things, that they deliver through CIA couriers ready to print or ready to broadcast news, which is used by the media.
If true, those are the important words of the night. If true.
I just told him I've got to come over and see the fake news. Let's go. What do you have, John?
Why does it appear that we're on the brink of a war in Asia?
With a deal to start denuclearizing the Korean Peninsula.
A lot of people have approached me and suggested that I run for president.
Tonight, he's now facing decades behind bars.
And you are killing us with the inefficiency.
Aid sitting unused in a warehouse for nearly a year.
The smirk on Sandman's face.
People judge me based off one expression.
Robert Mueller.
I'm not going to get into that.
I get hired by CNN.
You didn't have any journalistic training except CIA training.
What you need to remember is that when interests are working this hard to shape your opinion, their true goal might just be to add another layer between you and the truth.
You pushed Russia collusion from this building, from this place, the James Brady press briefing room, and from the North Lawn for over 2 years. And you're going to lecture us on the truth? Go look in the mirror. Have a great day, everyone.
So you don't believe in the First Amendment?
Oh, I totally believe in the First
Amendment. You don't. You just said the press.
Well, you guys are weaponized. You guys are totally weaponized by the CIA.
What is that?
You guys are weaponized
by the CIA.
By the CIA.
I don't know anybody in the CIA except.
Get out!
Phil, it's not your show. So I'm staying right here. Don't be so defensive about this.
Get out!
Let's start at the beginning. What exactly is QAnon, and why is it making headlines now?
QAnon is an online conspiracy that alleges there is a deep state designed to take down Donald Trump.
The idea of a deep state, that is a conspiracy theory.
Conspiracy theory.
Conspiracy theory.
Every conspiracy theory from the right is part of QAnon.
This idea that all you have to do is merely say it's a conspiracy theory and all discussion ends.
Conspiracy. Many Americans still use that word when talking about the assassination of President Kennedy 55 years ago this past Thursday. And while we're talking conspiracy, a key part of QAnon is this idea that Trump is fighting against what they believe to be global pedophile networks amongst the elites all over the world.
Billionaire businessman Jeffrey Epstein was arrested in New York Saturday on federal charges related to sex trafficking.
And they fearmonger about non-existent child sex trafficking rings.
There's an awful lot of this was going on in the United States, and I wasn't a party to it, and I knew nothing about it.
What's the global cabal really? Oh, it's about pedophilia.
Nygaard recruited and lured often impoverished children.
And he's revealing that the world is run by a giant pedophile ring.
She claimed that he was heavily involved in international child trafficking.
Epstein was hiding in plain sight. We all knew about him. We all knew what he was doing.
The journalists that we have in our media did a disservice to themselves, actually more than they did to this country. They did a disservice to themselves because they displayed an arrogance that is unprecedented.
We have to just go around them. We just have to go around them, and we have gone around them like nobody in history has ever gone around them.
If you had to guess, to your best ability, who you think Q is or what group Q is, who would you, if you had to say, who do you think it would be?
Q seems to be a small group of people that are very close to the president on a daily basis. They have posted photos and interesting information that would be difficult to get a hold of if you weren't very, very close to the president on a daily basis.
A public intelligence dissemination program whereby they're utilizing anonymous online posting boards such as 4chan and 8chan as a back channel.
A lot of it tracked current events, particularly during the Trump-Russia investigation, because many of the QAnon followers believe that this was just a deep state attempt to take out a sitting president who's really a Washington outsider.
For sure, they don't want him around. None of those people that have been in politics, established politics forever.
They didn't think he was going to win, so they did all this shit thinking Hillary was going to win. But now that he won, they're going back and looking at all the text messages from all these super powerful people.
What does QAnon stand for? What do you all believe?
Believe that somebody who's trying to awaken the public to what's really going on in the world?
It's a movement, man. It's the shift. I can feel it coming. Some call it the Great Awakening.
Spread it. Combat the mainstream media. I mean, we're fighting a battle on all fronts here.
And so the American people decided to take over the idea of information.
Tell them that!
They took over the idea of information. And they did it through social media.
Good to have Q posting again.
Whenever Q plus posts on the board, it is President Trump.
They're not after me. They're after you. I'm just in the way. And this was a retweet.
It seems that Twitter is holding out President Trump's tweets from view. At some point, these people are going to wake up. And when they do, we need to be here for them. We need to be here to help them understand what's taken place.
Everything is at light speed right now. Everything is accelerating.
Platforms like Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter are using artificial intelligence to find some of the content and make it less visible to users.
They all say that they're taking efforts, in particular Facebook and Twitter say they're making efforts to get this garbage off the internet, but some of it still lingers.
YouTube started reprogramming its algorithms in the U.S. to recommend questionable videos much less.
But so many in the media are reporting the same stories, promulgating the same narratives, relying on the same sources, even using the same phrases. When everybody's on the same page, it might be the result of an organized campaign.
Any evidence that would seem to contradict the conspiracy is further proof of the conspiracy. It cannot be disproven, or to use a term from science, it is not falsifiable. A hypothesis is falsifiable if you could imagine a way to prove it wrong through observation.
There's a lot of like, oh, it's Dan Scavino, it's maybe it's Michael Flynn. I mean, like there's no real.
Or Trump itself. Some people have speculated.
Yeah, is Q Trump himself?
And not a word from the White House about this.
Well, President Trump has never said anything about this organization.
He has retweeted profiles with the QAnon logo and QAnon messaging in their bios.
They've been asking a lot of White House reporters to ask Trump about Q. It doesn't seem like anyone has taken them up on their offers.
All right, so I want to add too that lady in the video is Cheryl Atkinson. She's awesome. So look into her a little bit. She's how's she spelled? SHERLY Atkinson. Scroll right here. She's great. There's a video. I want to see if it pops up in here too, talking about medical, some medical things. But check her out. I guess it's an A. Cheryl Atkinson. She's just awesome. Looks like here's your own website too. She's been great. Like even long before Q. She's not in the Q movement or anything like that. Yeah, but she's said certain things. I noticed the things that she said before even Q came around. She's just very well grounded and just like a nice perspective of things. She's the one that I learned that ask your doctor is a registered trademark and things like that too. So check her out. She's pretty good. She was in that video there for a minute. Again, anything to do specifically with Q, but she was in that video. Now the video says, when are they going to ask the Q the question? And they've gotten pretty close to it. Man, we played that last time. What was on where they asked Trump about it, but they said QAnon. The question that needs to be asked specifically is, Donald Trump, are you involved in the Q operation? But nobody has asked that yet specifically, because once they do, everything tumbles down, because it's going to be proven that, yes, the administration was connected to it. And if that is the case, they have to follow certain laws, rules, and procedures. And in particular, it's kind of above my head on understanding all this, but somehow it's connected to, I believe, the Logan Act or the Hatch Act they tried to get on Q the first time. But they never, ever talk about, voting for anybody specifically. Q just says, go, make sure you go vote, make your voice heard, but never, ever, one-sided. And again, if you actually read the drops, certainly there's attacks sometimes on Democrats, but there's also attacks on what we'd call rhinos. It's good versus evil, good versus evil, right versus wrong. It's not left versus right. And we're rooting all these people out, and that's what it's about. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, 5-5, brother. And I just love that video, and I hope everybody that, and I see some people have joined us. Welcome to Q School live recording. These are the, we're going to go through some of the deltas for today's date, February 18th. And that was a 2-year delta, that video that we just watched. And now there's a whole bunch of 3-year deltas, Kyle. If you want to maybe just bring them up on the screen. And we're not going to go through the 3 years right now because there's 28 of them. But we'll just scan through them quickly. And one of them particular popped out at me as a beautiful delta, and that's enjoy the show. You'll see the Q drop appearing. It's one of those beautiful memes with the movie theater background, I believe. You'll see it. You got to keep scrolling, brother. Those are all the 17. That's from yesterday's deltas. And we covered those on Q School. But you're going to see coming up here soon, February 18th deltas.
Wow, 17th, huh? Yeah.
That's what I said. Yeah, 30. There was 39 from February 17th, and of course we covered a bunch of them. Yeah. Now watch the one that comes up. I think you got to switch the page. You got to. There's 3 pages of deltas on this. There it is, right there on the right. Look at that one, 2781, brother. Enjoy the show.
Yeah, 2781. Yeah.
We're enjoying our show, everybody.
Awesome. So, and again, just what we're covering here, the different deltas. Guys, if you jumped in the chat, Tim might get over to unmute you there, but we're moving kind of quick. We're going to cover stuff, and then we'll open the floor up for any questions, or if you have something to add, just click the, ask to speak button if you have a question or something too, but we'll get to that. So the setting is some of you guys might be muted, but again, we'll get to you guys in just a second. Tim and I are kind of just going quickly here. We got another 17 minutes or so. We should be able to go a little bit longer than that. But we're going to keep rocking and rolling here with these. And then if you guys have something, I was trying to think of where they should reply if they find it drop, Tim. That's the one thing we didn't do was maybe you can, I don't know if you can do this, Tim, from your computer, but share make a post here on Q School and just, oh, you got the recording. Okay, so Tim did put it in. Wait, is this today? No, this isn't today. I'm way behind here. Let me go. Oh, this is Diggers. Sorry, guys. Hang on. Okay, so he did put it up. Is this it right here, Tim? This today? Is this us? Yeah, February 18th.
Yeah, you could drop your sauce in there, or even under enjoy the show, because that is a 2-year delta, and I posted that yesterday, as a matter of fact, that before I went to bed. So
Yeah, if you have something specific to that, go ahead and hit reply there. Otherwise, click this live recording that we're on here, guys, that Tim just posted. So that's 7:46 p.m. Eastern time. Again, that's today, February 18th. Just hit comment here and then put something if you have a question or if you notice something. Again, when we're doing these recordings, you guys know sometimes I'll ask if you guys have a dig for me. If you guys find something, go ahead and just share that in here, and I'll try to start my other computer up, and I'll be able to monitor that chat. But reply to this message if you have anything to comment about what we're recording right now on this video here. Okay, so Tim, the February 18th drops, so we're going to kind of scan some of these. There's a whole bunch of February 18th drops too.
Yeah, go slowly on the screen. Now, there's names that are going to jump out at you guys. There's Mueller. You saw Mueller on the left-hand side. You can see Andrew McCabe pops right out on the screen. So again, here these are 3-year deltas, folks. So news unlocks the map, future proves past. And we're seeing with this Durham investigations, some of these names and actually some of these characters are now coming back onto lamestream media. They're being interviewed, so they're back into the spotlight. So it's quite interesting that these older Q drops that they're talking about the deep state players. And I loved in that video how they said, the mainstream media was basically giving away the sauce. They're saying, the QAnoners, they think that there was an attempt to overthrow the government and blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, that's exactly what happened. So you have to really, to get through the fog of war, you actually have to look at mainstream media. If they're calling or attacking something and saying it's bad, it's actually good and it's truth. So they tell the lies, we tell the truth, brother. Back to you.
Yeah, especially with a lot of projection there as well, too. So this one, excellent graphics, seconds matter. That I've never heard him actually say that. 17th. So this seems to be kind of like another proof here. This was interesting. This person hasn't been removed here. So without looking at this ahead of time, so look at third. Okay, so Q posted at, again, 13:28:46 in Eastern time zone. And then Donald Trump tweeted, look at 9 seconds later. So this is important. We've talked about that. This is proving that the Q operation is intimately connected with the Trump administration. Very important. It's not the other way, because there would be very easily technology to set up that every time Donald Trump tweets, you have an automatic post ready to go on the chans. So that would come second. But this is opposite. They are posting seconds before Donald Trump tweets. And they've done this multiple times. Look at on this one, there was 3 in one day. And this was specifically about the illegal immigration and also just mapping how the votes go across our country. With that, we've talked about that on a different school. I'm not gonna be able to find that post right away without wasting our time here, but it clearly shows the major cities where all the illegal immigration happens to be these Democratic strongholds. Again, I don't like to get into the left versus right topics, but it's pretty obvious that they use.
This is us in 2026, and I just showed that. I showed you those graphics the other day from the deltas, the overlay. I think I just showed it even yesterday too. So y'all been seeing this. Go through the deltas on the Q drops. Know what's going on. Let's go.
That to their advantage to gain the votes. But this is also another way to ultimately harm the United States. This is what this is all about too, guys. The United States has been under attack.
One more pop in from 2026 right here. By the way, this graphic here, this image from this Q drop is Q doing a 0 delta, where it means Q drops, and then the President of the United States tweets less than a minute later. They do it 3 times in a row on a graphic they could have combined all 3 graphics on. So Q went out of their way to, on the 17th no less, to validate themselves with the President of the United States. Pay attention now.
And if you think about it, they became so powerful militarily. We have a natural border on our east and west coast, which makes it difficult to attack anyways, that no really, honestly, country could ever attack the United States head on, right? So what's the only possible thing they could do is infiltrate and try to attack within. That's why we have so many people in our government that are connected to the Muslim Brotherhood. China has paid off all these different politicians, and they've infiltrated the media and things like that. That's what's, just so people understand where this is all coming from, is the United States has been infiltrated and attacked from within, because nobody could else attack them otherwise head on. So this is about this post. Anyways, 9 seconds later, Trump tweeted. Here it comes up again the next minute. Okay, Q posts at 13:29:07. and then Trump posts 13:29:40. So this is actually 23 seconds or 33 seconds later. So that's slightly different. We would still call this what's called a zero delta. So now when we are covering the different posts, when we say this would be a 3-year delta because it's on the same day, February 18, 2019 is a 3-year delta. But when we're talking about delta in time with minutes to Trump tweets, this is what we'd refer to as a zero delta, as in Q posted and less than 1 minute later, Trump posts. Now, generally, that's within 10 seconds. And according to Q, that was because they send it from 2 different devices. And that's basically like they basically would hit it at the exact same time, but it was always 10 seconds off. And according to Q, that was from a different carrier, as in like a cell phone carrier. I don't know. Everything has meaning, so there might be something more deeper to that. This one at the end, when Q responded to this one, again, I don't remember this necessarily. It says excellent graphic. Seconds matter. So they're telling us something again. Maybe we can look at the different in seconds. Maybe we should look at Q post 33. I'll look at that here in just a second, because generally it's within 10 seconds when they do a zero delta. But this first one is actually 9 seconds. That's actually the closest I've ever seen. I always thought it was within 10 seconds. Oops, here it is. 46 to 57 is, oh no, that's 11.
Okay, one more check-in is the zero deltas are always just less than 1 minute. It's not always 10, but the quickest time for a while was 10 seconds. When Q explained, they hit the button from 2 different devices, and the carrier made it 10 seconds off. We obviously have a 9-second one here I scrolled across. And then there's the shortest one is 3 seconds, and they said blame it on Dan. So anybody know that? The 3-second Dan thing. More comms after the Secretary of War did a commander's prayer at 1:57. And the next day, Dan Scavino posted a 2-second clip after I said he was faster than 3-second Dan. So anyways, follow along here. Somehow this unlocks something.
Seconds. Okay, excuse me. Yeah, usually 10 seconds after. This is 11. The next one is 33. Again, we're looking at the timestamp, and this person put this graphic together nicely. This Q post 2755. Again, more things about the election and voting, etc. This was military time 13:29:07, and then Trump again tweeted 13:29:40. So again, 33-second difference. So write those down, 11 and 33, Tim, and maybe we'll look at that here in just a second. And then the last one, Q post 2772. So when was that? What number were we at there? So 20 posts later, but is it the same day? Yeah, same day. So a whole boatload of posts. But here comes another Donald Trump tweet, and lo and behold, sure enough, it's I guess this one's that we'd call like a 1 minute delta. Technically, it's still less than 1 minute because we got 18:44:38, so 22 seconds, and 13 is 37 seconds, right? Is that the math you got, Tim? 37 seconds.
5, yeah. And it's going to be interesting, folks. We're doing this live in a recording. We're going to bring up Q drop 11, Q drop 33, and what did you get with the math on this last one?
It's 22 and 13, so 22 and 35, right? 35 guys.
35, yeah. So 11, 33, and 35. Let's see what those Q drops have to say, because what did it say in that previous Q drop you said? Seconds matter?
Yeah, so the Q responded specifically to this graphic, and we shared that one there. I want to show 2722 just real quickly because we talked about the fake media. Let me show that one real quick. This is a great graphic, and for anyone too, I thought it was 2722, right? Yeah, make sure you guys can save these type of graphics. Okay, Q has a post about this where it's all written out textually, but this is a nice graphic. Yeah, ABC News executive Ian Cameron is married to Susan Rice, who is the national security advisor of Obama. CBS President David Rhodes, brother of Ben Rhodes, Obama's deputy national security advisor for strategic communications, brother of the CBS president. Okay, it goes on and on like this. White House press secretary Jay Carney, married to ABC News correspondent Claire Shipman. What do you guys notice here? Their last names are different. Cameron and Susan Rice, why don't they have the same last name? Well, that's because they want to hide the fact that they are connected. This is how this is. I mean, this is what deep state is, right? If they had nothing to hide, why wouldn't they have the same last name? Granted, I understand some married.
And the other, sorry, Kyle, to cut you off. The other common denominator in this particular image is Obama. And watch what happens when we go to the 4-year delta. The very first 4-year delta for today's date is about Obama, brother.
Okay, right on. So yeah, I just want to share this graphic. Check it out on your own time. Save this, guys, too, and put it out there on social media if you want to start, helping. This will be the great meme wars of our time is coming up here in this 2022 midterm as well, too. But this is just showing you how these people operate. Again, their last names are generally different. Why are they doing that if they didn't have anything to hide? But that's follow the money, follow the family, follow the wives, follow the husbands. Q's told us all this, and it really maps out all the corruption here too. So excellent graphic, mathematically impossible. Oh, on the 17th also. So just more ways that Q had confirmed themselves. And they've done this over and over and over again. This is 2,000 plus in. So any of us that have been following Q since the beginning have long known that they were valid and verified themselves. But again, it gets totally attacked by the mainstream media because they fear them because we're exposing all of their crimes.
That's right. And also on that, look at that Q drop with the 3 deltas in it. Look at the timestamp. Look what's in it. 5-5.
Oh, 5-5. Nice. And again, if you guys are on regular QAG, we get our drops here, QAG, QAGG.news. There's also Q alerts. There's some other places to get Q drops. Generally, I use QAG just because the search function's easy and I'm familiar with it. Make sure you have your time in New York Eastern time zone. So where did I have that? Site menu. No, hold on. Display options. I always keep forgetting this. Settings. Okay, in the settings, though, here we go. Select time zone, New York time zone. That's just how the Q drops were originally, just for a universal method to be able to verify things. And, of course, Washington, D.C. is on the Eastern time zone. Okay, so, Tim, we got the FBI McCabe one here. The image we shared already about all the movies playing. It's coming soon. Enjoy the show. We've talked about that a lot. So those are some of the other 3-year deltas. Want me to keep scrolling then?
Well, pull up, if you don't mind, pull up Q drop in the search bar, 11, 33, and 35. Let's see what they said because of the deltas.
Okay. And again, so if you want to search a specific post on QAG, check out the help button. Help button will teach you how to do different searches. Hopefully you guys learn that. So anyways, Dustin said timestamp difference. Is this a reference to Dan Scavino? Why I'm putting this in, do you want to elaborate on that, Dustin? I don't know what you mean there. Okay, I don't know. Dustin, you there? Anyways, so you do pound sign. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here. I was just trying to look up. I'm trying to figure out how to send it to this chat. I know you got the live recording.
Yeah, just go to and again. I mean, I was able to see your message. Q School. Yeah, Q School. Go to this live recording and then hit this right here. Hit the comment button, and now I'll reply right to it. Jonathan's got the meme there. Thanks, Jonathan. Love it. So did you see that, Dustin?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and reply there. We'll see that. But I mean, I have notifications on for you, so I did see your DMs too. So thank you. So this is the change in time. So let's see these drops here too. See if there's relevance, guys. Q is always talking to us in different ways. So remember the image too about illegal immigration. I don't know what Trump said on this video that they shared. And then they did another map kind of in regards to election stuff, and then another audio visual. And then let me bring this up one more time. And then the last thing is the Mueller investigation is totally conflicted, illegal, and rigged. Should never have been allowed to begin, except for the collusion and many crimes committed by the Democrats. Witch hunt, which, again, the mainstream media tries to say, oh, Mueller's secretly working for Trump, and they make it sound like it's crazy, but the mandate did get changed by Rod Rosenstein. And did they actually wind up looking at the Democrats because they were the ones clearly connected with the Russian collusion? Is that the witch hunt? Who's the witch? Anyways.
Yeah, one more thing, Kyle, without it's on the screen. Look at the capital W, capital H. Now, we see that WH a lot in Q drops, and we always said it was White House. This could be witch hunt. Keep that in mind.
Where do you see the capital WH?
Witch hunt, nice.
In several Q drops, as you know, when we go through Q school and that, the WH, right?
Yeah. I've never thought of witch hunt. Thank you. And then of course another one that sometimes we don't talk about is white hats too. But witch hunt, I love that because I said there should always be about 3 answers for the different abbreviations, in my opinion. So I love witch hunt added to that too. Thank you, Tim. And look at here too. The world is waking up to the truth in all capitals again. Here's February 17th, and Truth Social is getting tested in the beta. I feel like we're going to find more of these truth capitals. I feel like is a reference to Truth Social. So stand by on that. Okay, so now, all right, so now why I said that, let's see if these timestamps have a relevance to them. So I want to bring up this image one more time. Sorry. So this first post, without illegal votes, D's lose. That's what Q said a long time ago. Previous illegal immigration high population versus D win by county provided. Again, the map's laid out. There's a better map that shows this too, and I don't want to. I don't have that ready, so we're gonna keep moving on. Sorry, guys. Why do D's push for illegals to obtain a driver's license? Okay, that's all a big part of this too, is having the driver's license to vote. And they know now that many of us, and especially the big lie is saying that. Minorities, particularly the black community, would not be able to get driver's license, and that's totally absurd and it's so degrading to them. And if people have interviewed them in public and said, "Hey, do you know how to get? Do you have a driver's license?" Yes. Do you know how to get online? I mean, it's just so arrogant. It's just their narrative, right? Their narrative isn't based on fact, but they want to push that to people. In fact, when by allowing or forcing the people have a driver's license to vote, since you need a driver's license to buy cigarettes, to drive a car, to apply for food stamps, and all these other super simple things of 20 plus things that you need a driver's license for, why would we not have a driver's license to vote, the most sacred thing in the United States? But in particular, illegal immigration affects the black and minority communities the most anyways, because they're taking jobs, they're taking resources that should be allocated to regular American citizens of all kinds of races and backgrounds. But the illegal immigration particularly affects the black and minority communities in general too. So that's how the narrative is totally bogus, and they flip it on their head. But why is this relevant? This is what they're talking about. And also, if you think about an invasion of illegal immigration, how could that play out? In particular, too, well, now that I'm going to do the drops here, the first one is Q Post 11, key, military intelligence versus FBI, CIA, NSA. Those are what's known as the ABC agencies, the three-letter agencies, okay? No approval or congressional oversight. State secrets upheld under Supreme Court. Who is the commander-in-chief of the military? That would be the president. Under what article can the president impose military intelligence take over investigations for the three-letter agencies? What conditions must present itself? Why is this so very important? Who surrounds POTUS? Generals, other military commanders. They lost this very important power, though one area of the government not corrupt, and directly serves POTUS. So interesting, that's the second timestamp there. Now the next post.
Hey, Kyle, before we move on, can I just take a little break here before I go into my third Cosmo? So think about it this way. During this time that Trump was the president and the POTUS, there was a lot of things that were going on that he was trying to change and redirect or whatever. And he was able to do that because he had the actual authority to, as the president, to start to make those changes. So we basically made the changes while he was there. And then he exited the stage left, and then but when he exited, there were things that were put in place as far as executive orders, and as far as executive orders, pretty much, and other legal things that weren't ever attempted by other presidents because they weren't given the cover, or they weren't smart enough or whatever, and they weren't able to do it. But he did it because, not just because Trump is smart, and I think that's a big misconception. People think, it's all about Trump. No, it's not about Trump. Trump is like the catalyst. He's a big part of, I guess, the individual entity that can actually sign documents and put things into motion. but there was a whole group behind him that had to be in the shadows because they were kind of like outcasts of that deep state, right? But Trump was working with them in order to put a lot of these things into place. And then, during his presidency, as the 4 years he was a president, which people call it, that term, he did a lot of things legally that just put them in a bind, put the deep state actors in a bind. And now we're living through this experience of when Trump exits the presidency, so-called presidency, and there's another president in place, but there's still legal scenarios that are kind of like ongoing. So I guess my point I'm trying to make here is that a lot of the stuff we're talking about is like Trump put these things into motion with the assistance of the Q team, and now we're kind of seeing the consequences of that play out, and it's was designed and it had to be this way. And when we see that, and when we listen to the X22 reports, and we listen to, the information that we're getting through our friends and you guys, and everything else that we're trying to make sense of it, put it into that context. I hope I'm not making this too blurry here, but I think that's where we're at right now. So thank you. I'm just kind of that in the middle, and I don't want to throw you off. Thanks.
No worries, man. Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, and again, that's important. It's not about one person or one. It's a group of individuals that are fighting. Making an alliance and taking care of the things that we can't control. That's the movement. That's the part of the plan that we trust. But it's us, the people, that need to take back our country and keep fighting for that. And, Trump was a figurehead. He was a catalyst. As I say, he's also a big mirror that shined the light on everyone. To his whatever you believe about him is kind of self-reflection on yourself. Do you believe he's genuine and actually fighting, for those who can't defend themselves? Or do you think he's an idiot and just stupid and a criminal? Because the information's there to see either side of it. And what are you more attracted to? So I'm not going to get too much more into that topic, but yeah. So anyways, let's keep going and get a few more, some deltas in here. I got let's go 17 more minutes, Tim, and then I got to run.
Yeah, well, speaking of 17, that Q drop, we still haven't finished those deltas, the seconds. This is important, guys. Let's stay on track here.
I looked at them, and I just felt like I didn't necessarily see anything, but we'll keep going. Here's 33. I hope my time spent here was not wasted. Note, few if any shills inside this thread. Reason for that. It's being monitored, recorded, analyzed, and don't want the clutter. Take care, God bless. So that's kind of interesting then now. So here's the thing too, guys. Q information is quantum, relevant to past, present, and future. So this is what they were talking about on the Chans back in 2017, talking to the Anons. But is it relevant to now? And in particular, how about this right here where they're covering, there's not a lot said on this topic. Let me look that one up real quick. 2755. Okay, so it's got all these drops in here, but in particular, this one is the next image that the person shared. So it's electoral votes, though. So that would seem more relevant than Tim is right here. He's saying with the timestamp delta, where did I go? Sorry, guys, is right here. I'm hopeful my time spent here is not wasted. That this whole thing was to teach us and prepare for. It's monitored, recorded, and analyzed is the election fraud. I mean, this is, I might be making a little bit of jump there. I don't think so. There's multiple Q posts that talks about what if the election was rigged or stolen, and clearly letting us know they were ready for this. So we don't have to get all worried up and fretted that, why didn't this get prosecuted? Why is it taking so long? Everything is playing out exactly how it's supposed to. Everything's being exposed. People are waking up more and more every day. And again, the military was the only way. So part of that had to be the FBI not going forward by prosecuting people, even though they clearly had evidence of election fraud. The DOJ, et cetera, CIA is involved, NSA. All right. So our founding fathers created this incredible document of the Constitution to protect our freedoms and run a country with checks and balances in a way that had never really been done before. But they also knew no matter what, there would be certain corruption, and people and entities in government would gain too much power over the people. In particular, the CIA is one of them. They have no oversight, more or less. And they've just gotten too secretive and corrupt. And certainly the FBI's gotten away with that stuff too. And Snowden exposed, NASA spying on all of its own citizens and stuff like that. Generally, we think of NSA, the good guys, CIA, the bad guys, but it's much more complex than that. There's good guys and bad guys on both sides, but more good than bad. Yeah.
Kyle, listen, here's my observation on this, and this might be a little bit mind-blowing, but this is how my brain works, my anon brain works. So based on that 3 delta, there's 3 deltas in a single day, and that was the 17th, was in brackets, remember? And seconds matter. Now, Q drop 11, so 11, 33, and 35. Those are the 3 deltas, 11 seconds, 33 seconds, 35 seconds. Analyze it this way. Look at it this way. On number 11, you've got them talking about the military, right? We're talking about the Q operation here, guys. So there's the military with a shout out. The middle one could be, that this is less than 10, 3 are non-military, and it says, I'm hopeful my time spent here was not wasted. Take care. God bless. There's a shout out to the Anons, and look what the third one is and who it's from. So there's 3 different messages from 3 different entities or people that are possibly, quite possibly involved with the Q operation. And we got to read 35, brother.
Okay. All right. So 35. And again, this is kind of like the big message. Whenever this event happens that we think is going to happen, we won't know the time or day, regardless of what people try to say. And if anybody's predicting dates, that would be highly questionable of them. So on QPost 35, November 1st, 2017, says POTUS will be well insulated, protected on Air Force One and abroad, specific locations classified. While these operations are conducted due to the nature of the entrenchment, it is time to take back our country and make America great again. Let us salute and pray for the brave men and women in uniform who will undertake this assignment to bring forth peace, unity, and return
military.
power.
Again, there's your military. Yeah. Go ahead.
Absolutely. And again, the message, guys, if you're new to Q, let's bring forth peace, unity, return the power to people. Like, is this really crazy, dangerous stuff? It's dangerous to them, right? Pay attention to who they're speaking to. It is our hope that this message reaches enough people to make a meaningful impact. We cannot yet telegraph this message through normal methods for reasons I'm sure everyone here can understand. Follow the questions from the previous threads and remain calm. Sorry, guys. The primary targets are within D.C., Washington, D.C., and remain at the top on both sides. The spillover in the streets will be quickly shut down. Look for more false flags, stay alert, be vigilant, and above all, please pray. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. Love is patient, love is kind. God bless my fellow Americans. 4/10/20.
There's a boom right there. So you've got the military shout out. You've got possibly somebody else in the Q operation with that second number 33 one. Hopefully our time spent here is not wasted. And then you got Donald J. Trump signing off. And these are from those 3 deltas in a single day, which was in brackets the 17th. That's pretty powerful stuff, Kyle.
Yeah, thank you. And that's why I love how we work together. And Tim, of course, partner of mine, he'll see things that I don't see, that beautiful autist and anon brain. So thank you for that. And yeah, I mean, that's a great point, is they're speaking to us in different ways there too. And it's interesting. I said, I don't ever I remember this post for sure, but it's interesting that he said seconds matter, and it never caught my attention until now. That's why I love that we reread the drops. That's what Q has told us a bunch of times. Reread the drops.
Yeah.
Tim,
so go ahead.
Yeah. If anybody is new to the Q information, you ended your last statement saying Donald Trump signed off on that last post. Now, I understand it, but if anybody's new here, can you explain why you think it's Donald Trump?
Oh, great question. Yeah. Of course, we're assuming everybody knows this. So if somebody new is watching this, the 41020, excuse me, is simple gematria. So you take the fourth letter of the alphabet, which is a D, and the 10th letter is a J, and the 20th letter is a T. So DJT, Donald J. Trump. That's how that is signed.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Tim, for that, for sure. Okay, so let's keep moving here. So now we're still doing, can we get a few more posts in here? So 3-year deltas. Let's see if there's any more. Yeah, a couple more. Or is this the one where there's a bunch? So, and think about this too, guys. Why is it so important to reread drops? Because when these were happening, obviously many of you maybe weren't following Q at the time. This is way back February 2019. And we were in the fog of war, right? The impeachment. No, I guess Mueller was coming up on the ending. We just gotten done with one midterm, so there was new politicians coming in. The Democrats won the House, so they're to try to impeach Donald Trump. All those things happening, but February 17th had what? 39 drops. You said, Tim. And then,
there was 39 on the 17th, and there's 38 for today's date, the 18th. So, wow. Kyle, there's a lot of truths in this, and I know we're running out of time, but we're going to come back and do another recording. What I'd like you to do, just quickly scan through, but I want you to bring up the 4-year deltas. There's the truth again. Yeah, you can see it on the screen. Pull up the 4-year deltas, because we're going to kind of connect before rigged. There's the word rigged. Watch how this plays out. Now, just based on the 3 deltas that we just read off, breaking down the seconds, I want you to pull up instead of pulling up all the deltas, pull up Q drop 788. Just for a second, 788 in the search. 4-year delta for today's date. Watch this. So after what we just read, check this out. You want to see how things connect? Check that out, Kyle.
So it says Hillary Clinton. This is from his Twitter, October 15th. So I'm not sure when the actual date was. That Hillary Clinton should have been prosecuted and should be in jail. Instead, she is running for president in what looks like a rigged election. Thoughts of the current president of the United States, Q.
Yeah, so highlight currents and kill brackets, and Hillary Clinton should be in jail. So think about future proves past. Right now, we have the Biden corrupt administration looking like.
I got to pause in here, guys. If that's October 16 and it says thoughts of current president of the United States of America, what does that mean?
Well, he's not the president, he's the resident. So if you're going to, news unlocks the map and future proves past, the current president quite possibly still obviously be Donald J. Trump. And what's breaking in the news lately, Kyle? Hillary Clinton. Mm-hmm. Investigation, rigged election. Exactly. And then I guess because we're running out of time, pull up Q drop. I'm just looking on my other screen here. Q drop 786, another 4-year delta for today's date. Watch this.
What number?
786, brother. Because remember when we got those 3 deltas in a single day, which was the 17th in brackets, and we read the second deltas, which is 11, 33, and 35, the one thing in common in that meme that you were talking about with Susan Rice and all them was Obama. So right. Let's check this one out and look at how it connects. This is a 4-year delta. The other delta was a 3-year delta.
Okay, so 786, February 18th, 4 years ago today. Never, so this in parentheses, never gotten over the fact that Obama was able to send $1.7 billion in cash to Iran, and nobody in Congress, the FBI, or Justice called for an investigation. So I'm guessing that's probably from Donald Trump there. Reread the crumbs, which again, guys, if you don't know about this, we don't have time to go into a lot right now. They said,
look at 1.7. There's the 17. It connects again.
Yeah, because I think I thought it's 1.5 billion, but they say 1.7 billion. Good eye, man. What an autist he is. So reread crumbs. What is the reason this is being brought back up? There is a purpose for every tweet, and Crumb dropped. Follow the money.
See, every tweet. We were talking about the tweets right after the Q drops, guys. Remember, 11 seconds, 33 seconds, 35 seconds. 3 deltas in a single day on the 17th. And what do we got right here? Unbelievable.
Boom. And then the rest of it, the Great Awakening, no escape, no deals, trust the plan. Happy Sunday, Q.
Oh, check this out. 2026 got the tweet here. Sure enough, there it is. That tweet, Hillary Clinton should have been prosecuted and should be in jail. Instead, she's running for president. What looks like a rigged election. That was October 15th, 2016. Q-drop says from the current president. Carry on, wayward friends.
Wow. Yeah, that's a major boom, man. And we can go on and on. I mean, I know you're running out of time, Kyle. So maybe we'll just, you can just quickly close it up, but scan through some of these drops that are on the screen so people can see some more of the deltas. And we'll do another recording maybe later tonight or tomorrow, and we'll call it February 18th, part 2. But yeah, go ahead, brother.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so this is a good one here too. Again, these are all in the Q drops too, guys. So you can go to these Q drops. This is QAG, QAGG.news. Start reading the drops, because as you learn them, as you read them more, you'll learn them. Sometimes it can be confusing with the abbreviations, or maybe a post is just kind of cryptic. Yeah, that's okay. Just keep moving forward, okay? MSM, mainstream media. Although, as I always say, the abbreviations, there should be multiple meanings, intelligence operations layered like that. So just keep reading the drops. But there's a lot of great images in there too, okay? So this one here, 2782, example, California. Again, could maybe be Canada also, right? What family runs California, or what family runs Canada? I know we got a couple of Canadians in here tonight as well too, right? We got Trudeau, but who's really running the country? They are all connected. Wealth, power, influence, rigged, like we talked about. The more you know. But here's this image graphic. This is specific to California, okay? The Brown family, Pelosi, Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is the nephew of Nancy Pelosi, okay? And the Getty family is all connected here. And this is how these people operate, okay? They and how they use different last names, right, to hide their corruption. Follow the money, follow the families, and it's all going to spell itself out. But here's the family all mapped out. Again, Gavin Newsom is the nephew of Nancy Pelosi. Okay, so I'm going to scan some of these, Tim, just to keep an eye. Like, this is a big one. This is everything, though, too, guys. It takes courage to speak the truth these days. Again, you're going to get shamed. You're going to get called crazy. Even anyone, to have the courage to continue to look up the Q information, even while people say, oh, it's insane, or you're just a conspiracy theorist. Like, no, we just want the truth, and we don't care what you say. You can shame us. You can kind of try whatever tactic you want. We are hunting for the truth, and we don't care what it takes to get there. We're going to keep fighting for it, and we damn sure don't care what you want to call us. If you want to hide from the truth and keep your eyes closed, we're going to expose it. But again, Truth Social coming as well, too. Okay, so let's keep scrolling here. I'm just going to see if anything catches my eyes. We got last few minutes here. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Sorry we're a little limited on time. It takes courage to speak the truth. There it is again. That's actually twice. Totally different post there. Trust yourself. Another big one too, right? Trust yourself. Research for yourself. Trust yourself. Stop relying on somebody else to tell you what to believe, whether that's about your health or politics or whatever. Okay, here's another one too. President, Commander-in-Chief. Remember that came up too, Tim. Who's the Commander-in-Chief of the military? I think that was Q Post 11. Here's another one, truth in it. See, I feel like I keep seeing truth pop up on these. Here's another one, truth. Okay, D-class coming. Think about that. All this has got to happen before then we'd need a social media where we could actually spread the truth. Okay, is this the one? Oh, look at 2788 is in this, Tim. Holy cow, that's cool. That's on February 18th. Wow.
Another boom, brother. Another boom.
My favorite post. Yeah. Here's a good one, too, about, patriot, a person who loves, supports, defends his or her country and its interests with devotion, a person who regards himself or herself as a defender, especially of individual rights against presumed interference by the federal government. Okay, think about how they attack people. This patriot term is supposed now a right-wing thing or something stupid like that. traitor, a person who betrays another, a cause, or any trust, a person who commits treason by betraying his or her country. Look at what they've done too. Okay, so patriot, this is the regular definition. Let's see what Google's definition is, because Google's such a swamp tool of theirs. Let's say patriot definition and see what they've done to the definition of patriot. A person who vigorously supports their country and is prepared to defend it against enemies or detractors. That's not bad. I feel like they've changed one more recently. Maybe it was nationalist. They've changed these guys. They've been called out, so they maybe switched back. But you see how that's not quite the same definition as the one that we got earlier. Shoot, I lost track where we were. Sorry, guys. Let me find it. I got too many tabs open now. There's the Pelosi's. There it is. So here's the real definition, and then Google's definition, slightly different. It's not as bad, but they've done stuff like that, like actually change the definition of a word too. So be mindful of that. So let me get back to the post here and just see if anything else catches my eye. Again, truth capital is in my favorite post, 2788. Pretty cool. That's today. Fellow patriots, what you're about to learn should not only scare you, but intensify your resolve. That was similar to those early posts too, Tim, that drop 11, 33, right in those first few posts, they talk about that. The information becoming public will further demonstrate the criminal and corrupt, pure evil abuse of power that the Hussein, that's Barack Hussein Obama administration undertook in joint efforts with domestic and foreign dignitaries. It all leads up to the top, guys. Hillary Clinton couldn't be prosecuted for her emails because it ultimately would lead to Obama, who had a private email server, and as well as everyone in his cabinet, right? Do you believe FBI DOJ acted alone? Of course not, right? They're all connected. The FISA warrant, the biggest scandal in our known history, a new word for treason will need to be invented. That's what's all playing out, right? Now we see John Durham starting to share more of his investigation, what he's finding. Okay, there's a picture of the flag. Always represents the freedom, right? Symbolism will be their downfall. No, yes, it will, but also think mirror. Symbolism will be our uprising. So continue to, the flag of America is just a symbol for freedom, in my opinion. I mean, among other things. Dan Coates out. Fear is real. See, fear keep popping up here too. Something big is coming. Something like Truth Social, and something bigger than that, like charges. 0 day. I want to see if this one post that I saw, it's a particular talking about White House having a real-time news channel. So, but check out these posts, guys. Yeah, we're going to do a second recording maybe tomorrow, Saturday, either before or after. It might work. Here's some cameras footage this is from Q. So this is, I believe, when they were surveilling Peter Strzok and Lisa Page. I could be wrong on that, but I believe that's what it's about. More images there. So that was shared in there. Okay, pardon my scrolling here. Always 0 results. What does that tell you? 0 results for, okay. So that's so somebody searched this image and there's 0 results on the images that Q shares from themselves, right? Q sometimes will share a meme that somebody created, but and use TinEye, guys, if you're ever familiar with that, TinEye, TINEYE, if you ever find an image, put it in TinEye and you'll see where it originated from or how many times it's been used. But that's what Q is basically letting us know there, because somebody else did it. Every single image they share has 0 results, and that's basically Q is sharing an image from one of their surveillance missions. I mean, we have to make, I don't want to say that leap, but we have to make that inference because this image has never been posted anywhere else before. So Q always shares authentic, original images. In particular, the one with the back of the iPhone that brilliant anons could put together and find out that it was Air Force One. And in order to, I don't want to say, I guess, skirt the laws of national security and classified information, they could use the mirror, the reflection, to basically let us know that they are connected to the president and even involved on Air Force One with some of their images. Here's another one, QAnon. Okay, we covered that at the beginning. All these, look at this. This is just from the last few days on this image search. This is back still way back in 2019. All of these are different articles the mainstream media has put out as hit pieces on QAnon. Q just says reconcile. Why would they need to spend so much time, ammunition, and resources trying to debunk something that isn't valid, that isn't real? If it was just some conspiracy nonsense and some kid in his basement, then nobody would really care. But why is the biggest mainstream media corporations in the world spending so much time and ammunition on this? Ask yourself that question and think for yourself. What happened here? Oh, it's scooted over. Let me go. Sorry, guys. Okay. Last couple posts, then I got to run here. So, now we got through February 18th on that. Let's see.
Yeah. You scan through them, brother.
Oh, I think it moved. Okay, here we go. Got a couple more. Last three here. So this one, 30, 45, 60, 90. If Scott was here, he's talking about done-in. There's some done-in posts with that. Blockade, we got the Scaramucci model. This is mapping everything out, guys, with Spygate. Scope of the memo. There's a lot to that. We'll have to cover that some other time. What has occurred since? What has since occurred? Future proves past. Track and update, right? Now that's happening. We got first the Kevin Kleinsmith, now Michael Sussman, Dan Schenko, all these different people, and now Durham's come out and saying that yes, it was Hillary Clinton actually spying, and we got the Jof guy, the executive one, using IP addresses that were privileged information, basically spying on the White House through Cyberly. To basically make this whole Russian collusion narrative. So track and update, think calendar, interesting. So we'll see how this plays out. Look for placeholders. Okay, that has to do with, again, the board. But there's the thing, though. Placeholders, Patriots fight. What that is tracking indictments, in particular indictments regarding to Spygate. The D-Class will force worldwide coverage. Interesting how that's going to play out. And then OIG report, D-Class, more of that. So that's the last of the 3-year delta, and then I know Tim spotlighted one of the 4-year ones for us, but I just want to scan it to see how many are on the 4-year delta, Tim.
The 4-year deltas, there's 11.
Okay, so in 11, interesting. That was the number of seconds on that first. There's the 1.7. So Tim shared this one with us. Yeah, so we covered that one. Follow the money. Here's some more trust sessions. Trust Ray. That's interesting how that's going to play out. 2018 will be glorious. I think a ton of things happened. Again, they're still covert. We don't know about it publicly, but a bunch of things happened in 2018, and we're going to find that out later on down the road here. There's the other one Tim shared. So, look, we got a Snowden post too. Snowden post on the deltas. So lots of stuff coming up here, guys. So take a look at it. We'll have to do a second recording here and cover the rest of these drops. The clock is activated. Go with God. Interesting to see how that plays out. God and country. And then one more American flag just for good measure. Again, freedom, God, for God and country. That's what it's all about, guys. We're fighting for our freedom. We're fighting for the truth. And we're fighting for our future. So thanks for hanging out with us on this recording. Any last thoughts, Tim? And then you guys can hang out if you want. I got to run. And like I said, I'll be back later on tonight around 1 o'clock Eastern time if you guys are still up.
Yeah. Thanks, Kyle. That was great. Wonderful recording. We'll close up the recording shortly. Everybody's welcome to stay on the live chat if you want to have any open questions or comments, by all means. But I just want to remind everybody, if you're watching this video in the future proves past. We hope that we helped you along, understanding the importance of this Q information and how important it is and how it connects, how these Q drops, the Delta Q drops, connect with other drops, and then we specifically, actually, it blew my mind tonight how that 3 deltas in a single day, which happened to be the 17th in brackets, brought us the 11-second, 33-second, and 35-second Q drops. We haven't done that before live. We did it tonight, and obviously you could see there was more connections, and they did connect to the 3-year and the 4-year deltas on this particular day of February 18th. So just a reminder, folks, that we do a live Q School Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays on Telegram at MG Show. So make sure you go there 7 o'clock Eastern. Kyle, you want to wrap it up, and then I'll close the recording.
Yeah, I think that's good. I got to run here, so we'll hop on. I'm just going to stop the recording.
Hang on, guys. We're gonna.
But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. Looks like more people hopped in here. We're going to be doing more of these, so thank you guys for your support. I'm going to be listening here for another about 10 minutes, but we'll go ahead and end the recording then, Tim, and then we'll go from there. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight.
All right. Is that Matthew now or then? I can't even tell at the very end. Oh my God. Let's go.
Wow. Wow. What a nice blast from the past. Yeah. I just got back from doing my banking, so I missed the middle section of it. But what are your thoughts, Kyle? I mean, you were on fire back then. You're still on fire today. I mean, nothing's changed really, but how did you feel?
Well, if we got so many people with us, our family, our new family too, to kind of again go over the history of all this too, what was happening there. Again, we did a recording. Okay, so it was a month prior. That's why my brain couldn't piece it all together. It's January 17th. That's the right date. January 17th. I recorded one on my phone. And then somewhere in Tim, you don't maybe remember this, it was somewhere in between that January to early February, you and Matthew both got sick, and we would always show up. We never missed, because we had that time slot, and that was our deal, Anyways, you guys were sick, so we replayed the one on my phone in there. They let us do that. And that was the one that already kind of like set the temperature off of it too, because it was like, wait a minute, these guys are sharing screen. And anyways, so then I didn't even know about this one, but this one must be how it went. So kind of the timeline, guys, too. Then I must have got my computer right around this time, because we did it on the phone. So I ordered my computer, and then it came, and I think I just got it. So we did a show on the MG show for 2 hours. And then right after that, we did this show. And I don't know where I had to go, but I know, Tim, we were so pumped, because we just did it. And then we even talked like 2 hours after that. And then we maybe did one more recording in the middle of the night. It was something like that. We did like 3 or 4 recordings. We were so pumped and excited. And then a couple days later, they let us loose. And it was kind of like a gut punch, like, whoa, what a minute. But then it was like, wait a minute, this is what we're supposed to do, We didn't know what the fuck we're doing. And we went for it. And here we are.
Yeah, it is wild. What a wild journey. What a wild ride. I think back then you were working the casino, weren't you? You had to work the night shift at the casino or something?
I did a lot. I've done a lot of different things over the years, So it's hard to say, football, all the different things too. So,
right.
What was I going to say here too? There was some really cool stuff about. No, it was awesome. And actually, that video was like 10 minutes about QAnon. And of all the videos that made their rounds, I don't know if I've seen that one in quite a while. Like, the reels that go on Instagram and those channels, people have those things circle all over, and they do awesome. But that one, I was like, I hadn't seen it for a minute, and it was such a great, it was literally enjoy the show. I think you were gone, Tim. I'm like, oh, it's us, Tim. We're enjoying the show. It's literally sitting back and watching us do our thing, and you're fucking awesome. I was starting to get off on something too. Like, no, we need to go to these 3 drops. And it was really important. It was awesome. So we've always worked well like that together too. And that's kind of what happened with those 2 guys. When we had a time slot, Tim would have the drops all laid out ahead of time, and then I would just jump in, kind of the free flowing, but I would start doing a decode. And he's like, oh, guess what? 2 drops later, it's going to say this. So those were like confirmations. It just worked really well. But anyways, it's pretty cool that we have all that available. So that's also just kind of a weight off the shoulders week, because we can do every day's Delta coming up for like almost most of the next year. We can play those anytime if we need, and like jump in, or if I'm a little wore out, that's a big help. And send out to any of the friends out there too, Adam, Sean, all you guys that know us that have invited, General Apex. You guys ever want to come in on some shows too? It's always just a help. It's nice to have some extra people and stuff too. But we love doing what we're doing, and we love that you guys keep showing up. And it's just a joy to kind of take it all in, because sometimes you don't step back and realize, and it's really cool that we were talking, and I said it's a pause. Q was gone for over 500 days. We didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew they were coming back. Just like I've said, they are going to come back again. But when they come back this time, we probably won't need them, or it'll be some more official disclosure type things. We'll see how that all plays out. But they've obviously taught us that we need to steer the ship. We got to take the power back. That's what trust the plan is. It's the trust. The plan is in a trust. It means the people have to take their country back, and it's all laid out for us. We just got to ask for it and go take it back. And that just got to stand up, have the courage to do the thing. And we're all kind of doing it, but we'll just keep showing the way. Tim's got the new Superman shirt. Love that shit. Look at that. Let me see that one. Let me see that one better. That's a SSP. Anybody too got the Superman, and then got the Batman. Yeah, Dark Knight on yesterday, I think. Ooh, I love that.
Yeah, that's this Matthew's new birthday presents, but we trade clothes back and forth.
Yeah,
so.
Of course. This is cool. I love it. That's right, Matthew. Love it.
So Melzie, so I'm trying to timeline wise, because that was a blast from the past 4 years ago. When was it exactly where Hammer Time, the girls at Hammer Time, Melzie included, met the boys from Q School? Was it shortly after that, Melzie? Do you remember?
It was short. Like I actually heard Q School before Hammer Time was made. You know, so somebody sent me a link. I can't remember who it was, but they're like, you got to come and check out these guys. You know, they're doing the Q posts and so and they said, you know, you'll hear Matthew behind the scenes. You know, he's Tim's autistic son, and everybody just brings in their digs and stuff. And so I listened, and you'll hear me, I'm sure, you know, when we go through the deltas and we go through the shows, that I'll bring in my little things and stuff. And, you know, I just listened, I think, a lot, like, because I wanted to learn. And it was so much like there was no one else out there that was going through it and really like not kind of bringing their own interpretation, but just trying to read them and figure it out. And then the group setting made it all make sense, I think, because everybody could bring in their pieces of the puzzle together and share it. And then I think that's what made it so great, was that the excitement of that, because, you know, like I have this little piece and I want to share it with someone, you know, that cares.
Yeah.
Or what is this little piece? I don't understand why they do this. And then we could decipher it together. But so it was actually not too far after you guys.
Do you remember your when you started Hammer Time? Do you remember the date? Did you ever archive that or figure out when you actually started?
Could like scroll away, I bet you could.
We started Hammer Time to do shows with Juan. So, you know, to do shows because Juan was going to do a show with us, and it was right around the Pelosi time.
I think it was later 2022. So, and I believe Melzie actually found us like very early on, Tim, when we actually went on our own channel. And then also we I don't know how soon after that we started the 24-hour thing, right? We had the documentaries going and then the chats too. And I know Mel was drawn to the late night chats too, would be one of those people that fell asleep to either the documentary or other people chatting at night. It was very comforting for a lot of people to do that, I think.
Yeah.
You want to speak on that? Or
yeah, I did. I would come in late night. Sometimes I would work late night, and because it was so hot in the desert, so that at nighttime it was easier for me to work. And Scott was on, and all the other people, and the documentaries he would play were great. You know, we didn't do a lot of discussion. Like it was really kind of, we get like a 15, maybe half hour, and then we go back
class.
Into yeah. But that was okay. You know, it was nice having someone there, because so much of us couldn't sleep during that time. You know, it was a shock, like, to go through it, and then to know that we could reach out and still have family that was out there that would be, you know, even if I'd wake up, at least I knew there was someone out there. So it was very comforting to me during that time. I wasn't alone.
Well, well said, and we're definitely. I got to bring that back. I think we really need to bring that back. And now that we got Matthew's new computer being set up, obviously officially on Saturday after I get my new modem in and all that, but that little computer unit that his mom got him for his birthday, I'm going to get one too. They're only a couple $100 apparently on Amazon. So all I need is a new computer base, and it's just a little box the size of my iPad, for God's sakes. So I'll hook that up, and once I hook that up to my main TV screen in the living room, I'll be able to bring back Q School TV 24/7 for brothers and sisters out there in different time zones too. Like we had a lot of people from Europe that were joining us to watch. Like I'd be sleeping, you know, Scott would be our nighttime manager, and he would run it until I got up the next day, and then I would take over and he would go to sleep. And like you
What
said,
a great service you all have done. It's, you know, it's amazing, and that you brought a community together and helped so many people that you don't even know. And I just thank you guys for, you know, suiting up and showing up and doing what you do, and helping lead and teach so many people, and being there, being that light.
Oh, thank you. I know it is, you know, I always said, you know, the pay sucks, but the rewards are priceless. And when you build friendships, like look at the friendships that we've developed over the last almost 5 years now. It'll be 5 years on Monday. We're going to celebrate our 5th anniversary on Monday. And I'm looking forward to that. So, I mean, the next 5 years, I mean, I can't imagine how glorious, how wonderful, how beautiful this world is going to become, because of all of our efforts combined, you know, and that's what this is all about. But it really felt good to I like that. From time to time, we need to. I think, Kyle, we need to share more of these blasts from the past episodes.
That's why I'm excited, because we got our anniversary coming up. We totally can try to play one every day, like almost every day, you know. And I'll try to, because we can set them even for certain times too. So we could even play them at different times. For some of y'all might be busy. We'll let you know ahead of time, like, and then, you know, actually start right on time and play for 2 hours or whatever. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I think what we'll do, maybe, because I know Kyle and Melzie are still busy, you know, working hard and everything, and we might cut back to maybe 2 or 3 live. Like we'll be live 5 days a week, but it's going to be a different kind of live. Like we'll do our thing maybe 2 or 3 of those days out of the 5, and then the other 2 will slide in a blast from the past for you. Everything will connect, though. You'll see how it all intertwines and connects, but that way, you know, it'll give Kyle and Melzie a little bit of free extra time too, because I know you guys are busy down where you are. And of course, coming into the spring and summer, there's going to be more things to do. And but we're definitely want to stay on top of the news cycles and everything. And today was perfect because prior, like I said to Melzie and Kyle before we went live, and that's why we were a little delayed, because we talked about how we're going to set this up. I couldn't really get us any new top-notch news that would coincide with the Q drop. So I said, why don't we just dig up one of our old archive shows and play that today? And it kind of worked out that way. It worked out well. So when there is breaking news, I will definitely come in, boom, pound it, bring the Q drops for you. But let's say the news cycle is kind of wandering and veering off, you know, away from the Q drops, really meaningless kind of news. You know, it's more kayfabe than anything else, or distractions or whatever. We'll bring to you the we don't have to play the whole length videos, but we can play sections of them. Kyle and Melzie, maybe we can bring that up and have open discussions about them.
I think that's great. Yeah.
That's the one thing I miss, and I still would try. I mean, I know we've been saying for a while, and just again having the time, and that's part of the things we're working in the background, like business things. But another thing I want to do is make shorter video clips too of some of all these decodes we've done. You know, showing Hillary Clinton's taxes, or just breaking down even all the stuff, the invert stuff to the Baphomet worship in the Hollywood. Anyway, so I'd love to work with you guys more on that too. We're also setting up the Linktree stuff, offering like healing stuff soon too. So it's exciting though too, and we have this huge foundation, and we have friends out there. Again, if you guys want to like help join us, the Q jobs are going to be the map. We'll keep showing up, but the more people that want to help us, and we're going to again tweak some things so we can spread the message better as well, reach more people. But thank you guys so much for all the things you guys have done, all the amazing support you've done over the years, and the comments and the donations of whatever kind, and all the love you guys have. We appreciate you guys so very much.
Yes.
It's been amazing.
Yeah, thank you guys for all the videos you do, for all the
That's so
reposts
special
you do,
when
for
people
all
the tribute
all
stuff.
things you
I mean,
bought,
it's
for all the
really
good things. Thank you.
in the heart every time on that. Yeah, thank you.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
So it's a great team.
Dustin's in there. I'm telling you, we call people in quantumly. Dustin, I almost want to send you a link.
Wow.
We've been showing you a little bit, brother. I don't know if when you got in. We just played.
He was in that show. He was in that 4 years. That show 4 years ago.
Freaking, we're explaining actually how Trump is. It's not even some. Actually, that wasn't Dustin. I always get you mixed up with Steven there, but you're in the episode.
Yeah. Oh, we had some good laughs over the years with Dustin and Steve and Egg mixing them up. Kyle can never get the two.
Right here too, like I have that observant. They're not really the same, but for some reason, that's the funniest part. Oh man, I can hear Dustin laughing with us right now.
Oh
That's
yeah,
the thing I
great
miss
memories.
about I'm so thankful we can have the stream, but that's the thing I miss is being able to like everybody's 2 cents, like Mel was saying, like everybody shared their expertise. You know, Dustin had really good political knowledge about things and other kind of backgrounds. And again, Jonathan's the tech guy, and Jonathan Petrie will be around, or MelzieKaye would come in, and here comes Montana Golden. She asked a lot of questions, and amazing knowledge. All those guys. Remember, even Buffalo. We gotta call Buffalo back. I don't even know where he's at.
Buffalo 17. Yeah, we miss our brother Buffalo. I hope he and his family are doing well. And that again, brother Scott too. Prayers up for brother Scott. He's fighting cancer. I think it's stage 4. I think last time I communicated with him, and we did send our prayers and our love to him. He was our nighttime manager. So, if you're watching and listening, Scott, I know from time to time he does bounce in here. Just let it be known that we're praying for you, brother. You're healing, and get through this. You'll get through.
Yeah. And, technology, like, think about it, the social media, like, landscape has changed so much from the battlefield that we entered into. We are all kind of like, remember Sean calls it the Q refugee camp. We're all here in Telegram and the Q refugee camp. And so we kind of come from a Telegram platform, I think, and are stepping out into different social media battlefields,
Right.
and or grounds of where we can become better known. The Q posts can get out there and people can learn from them. And so it's amazing to see how it's evolved, I would say, from like just even listening, not just the show of Q School and how you guys have evolved, but all of the Patriots. We all kind of grew together through this. And now, there's like how people communicate, like shorter messages, like Kyle was saying, or they watch different things, and it's changed. So we have to be changing too. But
Well said.
we're not leaving. We're
Right.
just transforming or metamorphosing into the next phase, I think, what it'll be.
Right. Yeah, always evolving, I think, is the message there too. Because we just for the effort and the time. But this is the beauty, is we built up all this wealth of knowledge, and again, just like the Q drops, you reread them, you find something else out. Especially and watch ourselves, especially if we do it more regularly, Tim, or even like break in part way. Because I almost wanted to stop halfway. You were gone, Tim. It would have been a perfect spot. And then Dustin, if you're still listening, again, your great insights, and we have other people share stuff. Especially as we got better at it. This is the interesting thing too with the timeline, guys. I didn't know this recording was out there, and full disclosure on the whole circuit. By the time next year, I was already starting to disappear. I believe I was there on the 17th, and Negative 48 was there, and within a few months, I was completely gone. And then our Negative 48 passed away, and then that's where Tim started the Q School TV and tried to keep it going. Then before I came back in the Patriot Unification Project, where everybody was doing the thing, and everybody got challenged in different ways, and everyone rose up, and it's been really special too to honor all that as well. But it's wild to like see some of this stuff, because I forgot about all this. Again, this is like a special kind of secret recording that probably most people have ever seen. And then we're going to play another one. It's 2/22. It's on February 22nd.
When do you want to play? Do you want to play that on Friday? Maybe for a Friday.
We could. And then I think we could play that Friday, because then I'd love for everyone to share their JFK Jr. stuff, and we've talked about it for a while, Mel, to making a video like the whole proof on it. But on Sunday's the 2/22, and then our anniversary is Monday.
That was a big show too. That 2/22. That's when we got our room really loaded up, locked and loaded.
It was the day before the day before we were officially on our own. But it was also at that time, and again, being on another channel, it was like a kibosh. You couldn't talk about the JFK Jr. topic thing. So we also were like, hey, look, there's only a handful of people. Fuck, this is our own channel. Let's do what we want to do. And we've had that challenge through the whole journey too, Tim, right? Because we came up underneath this channel, and they were mainstream on certain topics, and we kind of followed them in certain ways, because we wanted to help as many people and not get too far off sidetrack like a lot of these other channels. That's why Tim always said we come back to the Q drops. If you're called to a rabbit hole, you're called to go down there. But then some people, that's where you can start manipulating the information. And it's interesting to see these crafty influencers that are no good, and how they're turning the information. That's why you go back to the Q drops and ground information. But anyways, we were challenged in deciding on what information. Then you got, spirituality and religion combating, and the truth, and all these battles. But that's all made us be bigger people and understand ourselves deeper on an entire level in so many different ways. So it's just interesting to that, and specifically. And then we happen to do this recording on February 22nd, 2022. If there's something really special, the date that JFK Jr.'s plane crashed, July 16th, 1999, all the way to February 22nd, 2022. Really special number, and maybe I'll show you, or for sure going to show you that on Sunday. But if you guys don't know, look into it. It's really special. But we'll do that recording. So I didn't know all that when we did that recording, and then it just took off from there. And I'm kind of curious what we'll find. And now plus that time, we have so much more information. It'll be really fun, I think.
It will be, yeah. So any ideas what we should do starting our 5th anniversary, like when we celebrate our 5th anniversary? What do you think we should do?
I was to say 17-hour Q school, but
Yeah.
I was joking the other day. I said to Mel, she said, "Yeah." I'm like, I don't think she heard me. I'm like, "Did you hear?" I'm like, "Did you hear what I said?" She's like, "No." I said 17-hour Q school. She's like, "No." I didn't hear how bad it was for you guys, Tim. I left you guys, I guess, hanging a little bit. We tried to make it work. It was actually, that's another crazy timeline. We decided to do the 17-hour Q school at 17 minutes, 17 seconds after the hour on June 14th, 2025. And we were like 11 hours in, and X shuts down. X has a nationwide or full system-wide shutdown in the middle of our 17-hour Q school, among many other things we've had happen like that. So we got back on, though, and then I had to get off for, like, I always say, Tim, 93 minutes I was off, but you poor guys are left there hanging on the camera.
So Kyle goes, I have 10% left.
My batteries are dying
So
for
I
some
woke
reason.
up, and I'm really
I
not
don't
out
know
of bed yet. I haven't brushed my hair. I haven't looked in the mirror. And I thought, well, I'll just jump in and see if he needs it. So I jump in, and Kyle puts me on the screen and leaves.
Oh,
I was like, what? And there were a lot of people there, too. There was like, I don't know, 200
I know.
people.
It was weird because it was
And
going
I was
so
like,
long. There was like hundreds of people and stuff on there.
So, yeah, that was fun.
But we did it. All part of the journey, I guess.
Yeah, it has been a great journey. Yeah, we missed you too, Dustin. I don't know if you were listening to us, but yeah, it was so neat and so quantum. I mean, like, to play that show from 4 years today, and Dustin's in there, and then here he is today with us. So I mean, we're doing this time travel stuff here pretty well, actually. It's
happening quite a bit because when we play an older one, Tim, then like the people in there, they show up, and I was just messaging Dustin. I think he saw it. Tim, I knew he was gonna be in this one because you told me, and I saw that the names in the corner right there. You know, it's only like 8 names at the start of the show, and it's Dustin. I was like, and I was on my way to message him, and then I just got too busy when we started the live, and then he wound up showing up anyway. So how beautiful is that? That's cool.
That is, yeah, that's freaking amazing. I got God bumps, man.
Cool.
Yeah, nice to see you again, Dustin. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's wow.
Beautiful. Oh, check this out. I dug for it. Let me show you guys real quick. I showed you some of you guys the search stuff. Bring us up on the side, Mel. Let me know if I need to zoom more. But oh, it's good. Right here. So I went into QAG because I was wondering when they showed that I guess it's a Delta from today, wasn't that? It must be the 18th one, right?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see if it's. Go this one. It's one of the Deltas from today. Well, there's a bunch, right? There was like 39 or 38 yesterday.
39 today, yeah.
But is the one where it's Trump with his tweet? I'll show you here. I'm pretty sure it's on this day. I watched most of the recording. Let's see if this guy did his thing here. There it is. Okay, you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So this is one of today's Deltas. Q post 788, February 18th, 2018, and it says Hillary Clinton should have been prosecuted and should be in jail. Instead, she's running for president in what looks like a rigged election. And then Q says, thoughts of the current president of the United States, Q. Okay. So this Q drops from 2018. So you're like, okay, yeah, the current president is saying that Hillary Clinton was involved in rigging the election. But if now we look at all of our wealth of knowledge, in September 11th, 2016, Hillary Clinton's arrested. I haven't even talked to you, Tim, about the Jay Leno thing where he says Trump, anyways, president, will be your next president, 1999. But this tweet, I went over to QAG to verify this. I'm like, wait a minute. It just shows October 15th. Can you guys see that? But it doesn't show the year.
That's right.
So I went over to QAG here. And again, with the new version, guys, you click this feeds button. Click the feeds. This is QAG, QAGG.news. I turn on both Trump tweets and deleted. It's over here. Okay. I'm going a little fast, but you guys, play around with it. We can do a teaching more later. And we did a whole recording with Mr. Smith. We replayed that recently. So look at this. 1 Q drop with rigged election and 60 X posts with rigged election. And 6 + 1 is what, Tim?
61. And that would be the very first Q drop ever signed by Q.
Very first Q drop. Well, weird. This is the very first tweet from Donald Trump that ever has rigged election in it. And here it is. Hillary Clinton should have been prosecuted, should be in jail. Instead, she's running for president. What looks like a rigged election. October 15, 2016, y'all. Future proofs past, bitches.
That was before he became the president of the United States.
And then the Q drop. Look at, and now the Q drop. Were you taking a picture? Look at the Q drop here. It says thoughts of the current president of the United States. What if it was current before the election?
Wait. Get that one too. Wow.
Get it? You got them both?
I'm getting it.
All right, so that's how you double check that. We did the recording with Mr. Smith. Let me I'll show you guys how to where that recording is. Hammer Time on Rumble's the best place to go. Here's what rumble.com, just like YouTube, search Hammer Time. It's the long one, Hammer Time. Rapid Fire Q News with the military Q patch right there. Oh shit, we didn't change the name yet. It's this February 3rd one. Oh, you did? Nice. I did. Thank you. Nice job. Mr. Smith from QAD on Q School. We just did this one 15 days ago right there, February 3rd, 2026. But there's all these other awesome shows too if you want to check them out. Make sure y'all follow our different channels. We appreciate it. And make sure y'all hit like and do the comments. We appreciate you guys for all that. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Anyway, that was fun, brother. I got to sign off. Get dinner ready for Matthew Q. Thank you, everybody. Nice to see you all with us again today. I'm looking forward again to tomorrow. Today's hump day, right? Yeah, Wednesday. So tomorrow's Thursday. Friday, we'll heavily consider playing the 222 show. That would be wild. Even if we play parts of it and then finish it off on the weekend, Kyle, that would be amazing. But yeah, I definitely I got a good feeling about bringing up some of the past shows. There's something about it. There's something magical about it, and that we can continue talking about it. Bouncing from the past back into the present and thinking about the future and how it all evolves and how it all connects. So I hope everybody else is enjoying it too.
I think it'll be fun for sure to do that, and I think that's going to happen.
Right on. All right. Well, Tim 17 and Matthew Q signing off for today. Thank you. Love, everybody. And where we go one, we go all. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, Kyle. Thanks, Melzie. Love you guys.
See you guys. Love. All right. I'm going to close out, guys. I got a little video for you. We'll wrap it up. Love y'all. Love. Maga.
Baw diddy, baw da, bang dee dang diddy diddy diddy, chuck the buggy and up, chuck the buggy. My name is Kid Rock. Baw diddy, baw da, bang dee dang diddy diddy diddy, chuck the buggy and up, chuck the buggy. Baw diddy, baw da, bang. I'm not embarrassed.
Okay.
What's the big emergency?
Sir, Bill Clinton is here. He says he has information about Porge Poros, something about a global conspiracy. He says he brought McDonald's.
Send him in. Bill, you look terrible. What's going on?
Porge Poros, the corrupt billionaire criminal mastermind, is buying up gold reserves all over the world. Central banks, private holdings, mining operations. He's cornering the global gold market. He tried to buy the U.S. gold reserves too, until you spoiled things by winning the last election.
That all sounds pretty shady, but it's not illegal. Why come to us?
Because I suspect there's a bigger plan at play here. Something more sinister. Whatever he's planning, I believe it will throw the entire world gold market into chaos.
Well, that's not good. I love gold. It's classy.
Do you have any idea what this plan might be?
No, but I know the man who does. The man that set up every international gold sale for Poros, every introduction, every transaction, every back channel deal. Joe Biden.
Why are you telling us this, Bill? I thought you were friends with Poros. Same social circles, same parties, same islands.
Those were humanitarian. Look, the truth is that Poros is a card cheat.
What?
We've been playing canasta every Thursday for 15 years. The guy cheats every single time. It just pisses me off.
You're revealing a major sinister plot by an evil supervillain that might end in world economic collapse because he cheated you at canasta?
Have you ever played cards with a card cheat? It is infuriating. I complained to Hillary, but she just says, "Oh, really? You're complaining about someone cheating? Well, I guess now you know what it feels like." She makes me call her Madam President. It's weird.
Okay, Bill. We'll look into it. Whatever Poros is planning, he's not going to get away with it.
Good luck, guys. And if you get a chance, tell him I want my $40 back.
Looks like we've got to interrogate Joe Biden. Shall I assemble a team, sir?
Yes, assemble a team. This is not going to be easy, but we'll make him talk. Torture, blackmail, bribery, whatever it takes.
Torture, blackmail, bribery? How far will our heroes go to extract the truth from Sleepy Joe Biden? Subscribe to the Mr. Reagan YouTube channel to find out in the next thrilling adventure of MAGA Man.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, everybody. Love y'all. We'll see you soon.